How are you? Welcome to our weekly Grill the Geeks.
With the Property Geeks.
With the Property
With
Geeks.
Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Lovejoy Realty.
Yes, absolutely. So maybe that's me. Hold on, I gotta turn my sound off here. It's always a little awkward going live. You know, we talk about this every week. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna just take a few seconds to let some people tune in this week. Say hello, comment below here or there to let us know that you're here. We love to know that we're not just talking to our recorder. How old do I sound? Our recorder, our video camera. Anyways, yeah, so we love to know that it's not just us here, that there's others here listening. So we have a really good topic to talk about today. Yes. First of all, we just want to say thank you for joining us. Say hi again. And our question of the week, we always have a question every week that we love for you to comment in the comment section. Just let us know you're here. And what's the question of the week?
The question of the week is, you personally, what do you prefer for flooring in your bedrooms?
That's a really good question.
There's a lot of people that insist on having carpet for their bedrooms. Some really like the hardwood floors for their bedrooms.
Yeah.
So what is your preference, I guess?
It's interesting when we're with buyers because some people have really strong feelings about the subject.
Like deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's carpeting in that bedroom. I don't want that. I only want hardwood. Or like a hard surface flooring. They don't like carpeting. And here in Minnesota, we use, in Wisconsin, both, we use a lot of carpeting because it's cold here and cold floor.
Cold in the morning.
But some people really feel strongly about it, and then some people, there's like a beautiful, refinished, older hardwood floor in a bedroom. They walk in there and they say, "Oh, there's no carpet in here." It can be. It's an interesting thing because people feel very strongly one way or the other about the subject. So it's interesting to hear.
It's like a personality thing.
It is. Totally. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear if you want carpet in your bedroom or hardwood floor. How about you? What do you want?
This sounds ridiculous, but I like hardwood flooring, but I like to have a huge rug.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yes, absolutely.
I can go anywhere. Like carpet, I'm not like, oh, I can't have it, it's carpet, but I would prefer hardwood with like a really nice rug.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's really pretty.
Kind of like the middle.
Yeah. I like carpet. Yeah. I want like big, squishy, like an extra thick pad. If I was really choosing, right? If I really could choose, extra thick pad under the carpet and a really thick, squishy carpet to warm my feet when I get out of bed. I mean, I don't know. That's mine. I wouldn't want hardwood floors in my bedroom, but some people feel very strongly about having that, especially if we're like, I feel like when I have buyers in the Richfield area or Bloomington area.
I feel like if it's someone that has been in an apartment for a while.
Oh, maybe.
A lot of apartments have the just hardwood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's made into a single family, and it might be hardwood on the main floor, but then the second floor is usually carpeted. So I think that's kind of different for them.
I feel like when we're in those in the areas of a lot of Ramblers, like 1950s, 1960s, with the beautiful refinished hardwood floors. That's when I hear that the most often, right? In those areas. Yeah.
Hi, Linnea. She's in CE right now.
Oh gosh, you're in continuing education. Watching Girl the Geeks. Thanks, Linnea.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
And then you have to say hi.
Oh,
nephew.
Oh, to my nephew. Yes, Parker tunes in every single week. Hi, Parker. How are you, honey? My little nephew. And I hear you if you're saying hi back. Last week you were upset because I wasn't saying hi back, so I hear you. Okay, so that's our question of the week. So comment below on if you have a particular feeling about flooring in a bedroom. That's kind of a fun subject. And
getting entered into our raffle.
Get entered into the raffle for a fabulous prize. So we're going to talk really quick. We're not going to bore those of you that are not in this local market, but we are going to talk really quickly that we have a bunch of new listings coming up on our team. The team is rocking and rolling, and there are a lot of new listings. So, which is great because listings are at a shortage. So just really quick, we have a couple larger single-family homes coming on in Lakeville, one in the Spirit neighborhood, one in the Chadwick neighborhood. We've got a larger single-family home, 2-story, coming on in Stillwater in the Liberty Lakes neighborhood, and then we've got...
And then we have the Rosemount single-family in like the upper 300s.
Upper 300s, like about 360.
Right,
and then we have the
one in Delano too.
We have a single family on a little acreage. It's beautiful.
Yes, if you're a little bit more far out that way.
Yep. So kind of all over the Twin Cities. Yeah. We service the entire Twin Cities. People ask us that question a lot. So.
And then we're also getting a new website launched next week-ish.
Which has been a really long, wonderful process. But we're
great.
Great.
We're really into that kind of stuff.
Yes, but it's going to be wonderful.
Yes.
The website
lots of different searches and just things for both buyers and sellers to be able to use on our website.
Yeah, it's a really custom website. So fully custom website, and it's customized to what our clients that work with the Property Geeks, what we're normally looking for. So we have a bunch of special searches that are going to be on there. Anything from luxury homes to cabins to investment properties to single family homes and really specific. So you can do a customized search like you can on all the other websites out there. But this actually has searches already set up in it too that you can just click on, and it brings up all the cabins. You know, yeah, it takes out all the work. So it's kind of, and it's kind of fun to look through. We also have really exciting news that we'll be talking about in the next couple weeks, but we're going to be launching a coaching program. So we're going to be launching a coaching program. People ask us all the time for our help, obviously as realtors, to help them find homes, but then they want our advice also in a really more specific, more customized way outside of our education series, outside of what we talk about here. And so we're launching a coaching program where we're going to be talking about 3 different subjects. They're fully customizable. Really the 3 areas that we'll be coaching in is renovations, helping people get started doing renovations, rentals, getting people set up to get their first rental or get a really successful rental. Income properties. Yep. And then the last one, but not the least, is vacation rentals, one of my favorite topics. Cabins. Buying cabins either just as an investment and renting it out on a nightly or weekly basis, or well, any kind of vacation rental properties, or buying a cabin for possibly your family in a way to cut some of those costs down or to do a vacation rental through that as well. So that's actually our topic of the day. Our topic of the day, good segue there. I feel like I'm on the news anchor here.
Back to you.
Back to you. So the topic of the day is vacation rental properties, which in our area here is often cabins.
Yes.
There are a lot of other areas that have other wonderful beach properties and things like that, but in our areas, we're going to talk specifically about cabin rentals. So I want to start off by saying this is something that we have already proven a concept of. We do this.
Yeah.
So if you go to www.upnorthcabinrentals, let me get the website right first. www.upnorthcabinrentals.com. That is a good example of 2 cabins that are up in western Wisconsin that we currently rent out, that we have purchased with rental in mind, and they are rental properties that we do on a nightly basis with a minimum of days, and it's year round.
And this is a huge topic.
It is
so
huge.
We're going to be doing this, periodically. So all we talk about is just different points, but they're not about everything. So we're probably going to do a couple weeks worth of video on vacation rentals. And then obviously we have the coaching program. If someone is really, really interested and really wants to dive deep into it, then obviously that's when we offer. Yeah. So we're just talking about a little bit of this. Obviously we're not going to get to everything, but
I think so too. So we'll have several weeks, like she said, several weeks in a row, or throughout here, that we'll talk about different parts of this. But we'll start talking about just how do you start? How do you start off doing this? What kind of conversations do you have to have with, if you're buying it by yourself, things to think about by yourself, not a conversation with yourself, a conversation with your, talking to yourself about this, or having a discussion with your spouse or your family. Maybe there's multiple families that are going in to do this, like a co-ownership, which is super interesting and a whole other topic. But it's interesting. You can call and ask us. We don't have to wait for our next video. You can just call and we can chat with you about any of this too. So, so there are 3 points that I want to just cover. We wanted to cover this morning about just getting started to look for cabin rentals.
Feeling it out a little bit.
Yeah. Last week we talked about if you're going to just buy a family cabin, right? That was one of the topics. So look back at our last week's video. We talked about what do you do to determine if you're going to just purchase a family cabin, and where should you buy one? What area should you be looking in, and what should you be looking for? Some of that actually applies to this week as well. So we'll talk about that. But I think the number one thing here,
the number one thing I think is figuring out what your usage of the cabin or property vacation rental in general will be. So if it's going to be, a mostly family cabin with, here and there rentals, or if it's going to be mostly more like an income property and maybe go once in a while, it varies. And you don't have to, all of these things that we talk about aren't necessarily something you need to have concrete and decided before you go look, but it's something to always have a discussion about, especially when it's with your family or your spouse, to know you both have the same idea of what you're looking for and the concept of where you're going.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
Yeah, I think so.
Knowing exactly what you're going to do with it.
So it's kind of like determining how much you're going to use it versus how much you're going to rent it out.
Yeah.
Right? How much of this is an investment? Is this something that you just want to rent out? Maybe you know that you don't want to use the month of August, right? Or are you going to be doing this a year round? So that's something to discuss because that determines whether you're just looking for seasonal cabins or you're looking for year-round properties also. So there's a lot of things that play into this, but that's just a topic to start with. That says, what are we going to do with this? Let's determine the usage on this. So the second area I think you need to determine right away is to determine the area. And again, this kind of ties into last week's topic. Looking at the distance you want to drive.
Right, for your family.
For your family. So first and foremost, for your family, you want to drive an hour and a half to your cabin, or are you okay driving 5 hours? If you're okay driving 5 hours, and you know that most of your guests are going to be coming from, let's just say the Twin Cities, right? They're going to be coming from the Twin Cities, and it's 5 hours away from the Twin Cities. You want to determine that ahead of time because that is going to determine who those guests are that are coming up. Are they people who are just coming for the weekend?
Or they want like a week stay.
A week stay. Yep. And so that all plays into it. It's just things to think about when we're looking at that. You want to consider the drive, the traffic patterns for where that is, and then also how far the distance will be.
Yes.
If you're looking to attract families, you may want to consider not a 5 or 6 hour drive away, unless you're looking for people to just come and stay for the week. So that is that's something to look at. So the next thing
is figuring out guests. What kind of guests are you gearing this towards? What kind of guests are you going to be marketing towards? Right?
It's
are
really
you going to
important.
be marketing for a family wholesome cabin with a lot of vacancy, that you can have 12 to 14 people, and are you going to have a small, more quaint, more intimate kind of cabin? Or are you going to have more of like the bachelor party kind of fun party cabin, which isn't bad at all. It's just you need to know what you're going to gear towards, and that has a lot to do with what your family's going to use it for. Again, is if your family is more of quiet, quaint, that kind of side, then you're probably going to be looking for those guests as well. So really go after the same type of person that uses your cabin that you are. I would say.
Yeah. Are you buying a cabin for with rental in mind? You're going to use it for most of the time. You want to rent it out 50%, stay there 50%, and then you want something really cozy and cabiny and like off in the woods that you would most likely rent for a couple to go stay for the weekend or something like that. These are just things to determine. Or are you looking for something that you want big groups for, like a scrapbooking or crafting retreat? I mean, you can do that
right now too.
They're
big.
My gosh, they're really big. So so these are all things. So again, determining the usage, how much you want to rent it versus stay it yourself, determining the area. Again, these things play into each other. So, and determining the guests that you're attracting by the cabin. You need to decide those things first, and then you can go on to determine a lot of other things, right? I'm saying determine a lot again.
And like you said, it's something that you don't necessarily have to have concrete, but if you have a good idea going in and before you start even looking at cabins.
Absolutely.
So once we walk in a cabin, not only do we know as your realtor and as your coach, but also you as a family know exactly what you're looking for.
Yep.
And not having to decide that later on. I think that's important, just having that in mind.
Absolutely. These things are more important than which lake you're on. I mean, those are details we'll talk about later.
Right.
What the layout of the cabin is, how many bedrooms there are.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for all of those details. Stay tuned. I feel like we are news anchors today. But these 3 questions are important to just discuss with the people, the decision makers. Sometimes those decision makers are going to be your kids too. So these are important topics to just start to talk about when you're talking about this.
Right.
So there's a lot more involved. We're going to get into a lot more details with how to set up a vacation rental, just some general ideas. And if you're interested in doing something like this, call us and we can just chat with you about it. You don't have to join the coaching program. I mean, until you decide if you want to, that you want coaching on this. We can just chat with you about it and give you some advice based on what your family is looking for as well. We also just represent people as realtors as well, just helping them find something, and they can do the rest themselves as well. So we thank you for joining us. This is just kind of the preview to our next couple topics, and we thank you for joining us. So drawing. So we have a raffle from the people who have previously commented on our previous
or shared.
We so appreciate
anybody that I don't remember if we even said this or not, but we do the raffle, obviously, and we already said if you comment with the question, the flooring in your bedrooms, you get 1 entry.
Yep.
If you want more entries, share our video, and everybody that shares our video will get 3 entries into the raffle. So you have a possibility of having 4 entries total into our
absolutely
our
fabulous prize. What you say every week. Okay, you go ahead and choose. And then I also just wanted to mention that it looks like next week we might start moving in our new office downtown Lakeville. So we are super excited. If you just see us moving furniture in there, stop by and say hi. We'd love to show you around and say hello. And we just, again, so appreciate all the support from everyone for this new office. So, who is it? Oh, it's Lindsay. How are Lindsay? Cordell, hi.
You're probably watching.
Fabulous prize. Hello, honey. How are you? You won a fabulous prize, and that is.
We know where you live.
We know where you live. You won a prize, gift card to Main Street Cafe downtown Lakeville. Get yourself a coffee or a tea. So congratulations, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah, have a good one, you guys.
Every week, Thursday at noon.
Yes, Thursday at noon. Next week we might be at our office. So
we might be. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
Bye.